Well, a couple of nights ago I was bored and reading around the internet and was reading some reviews on a gun I had been kind of interested in. And after reading some very positive reviews, I decided to go ahead and pick up one of the new CZ-805 Bren pistols. I believe it's a PS1 pistol. So here it is. We just picked it up today. Comes with several accessories in this cardboard box, very much like the Scorpions. Grab a bag out of the box here. It comes with this rather nice cleaning kit and a pouch. Looks like it has some tools in it as well for adjusting things or doing things. Typical owner's manual here. And 2 magazines, and this is nice because the mags are USA made, so if 922R is ever an issue, if you want to SBR one of these, heck, you got 3 out of 6 parts right here, so I just need a couple more. Now this is in stock configuration, except I did put a Magpul ladder cover on the bottom so it's not as sharp. But other than that, this is how it just came. So this is the Bren pistol. No bolt release, so you have to drop the mag and then pop your handle forward. Interestingly enough, it does have a manual bolt hole open on this left side here. I'm not sure why. This button right here, you can pull the bolt back. Kind of a difficult maneuver, but I guess for cleaning. And it will lock back. Or not, or it'll jump forward. But it does lock back, but it's just you have to get it just right. And then put the mag on the right side too. It's been a long day. It's easy in here. But yeah, this is the Bren pistol. It has an 11-inch cold hammer forged chrome lined barrel. And I don't recall off the top of my head if it's a 1 in 7 or a 1 in 9 twist, but it's definitely not a 1 in 12. So it has a modern twist rate. It's gas piston driven. Has an adjustable gas plug. At least it has a standard setting and then a hazard or low power setting. Pretty typical gas piston. It's kind of neat though. It's a 2-piece gas piston with a spring. Has a full length lower rail. These side plates here can be replaced with rails, but honestly they fit your hand really nice as is. I don't see a need for a rail there, especially on a quote-unquote pistol. You've got a full-length top rail with removable, adjustable sights. They're essentially the exact same sights from the Scorpion Evo 3. Metal rail all around there. A very large ejection port, as my friend pointed out. So plenty of room there. Shell deflector. It does have a very nice charging handle, very Scar style, but a little bit slimmer, a little bit more ergonomic, has a bald tip so it won't dig into anything. Ambidextrous mag release. The bolt, as you saw over here. Ambidextrous safety. And it is it's made of metal, and it definitely doesn't get in your way, even shooting as a pistol, like on the Scorpion Evo 3. Even if you have a very high grip, you're not going to hit that by default. One nice thing about this gun, the trigger, it's a 2-stage trigger, but it's, for a military trigger, it's very clean and quite light. I'm not sure if it's also adjustable. I haven't dug into it that deeply yet, but it is a very nice trigger. For that matter, the bolt travel is very nice. I've owned Scars, and I would say the bolt travel is at least as smooth as a Scar. The trigger is definitely, the factory trigger is definitely superior to the Scar factory trigger. No ifs, ands, or buts. The upper receiver housing is made of alloy. The lower is made of polymer. It's held on with 2 HK style pins. Spring loaded, they just pop right out. This end cap here, which if you do an SBR you can replace, you just press this button in and it pulls down after you take the pin out, and then you can, for either disassembly or if you want to put a stock on after filing your Form 1. Pretty standard sling swivels, front and back. They're fixed slots. I guess they're not swivels then. They're sling slots. A very ergonomic pistol grip, again for being a military gun. The back strap is interchangeable. There's a roll pin, so you can take the strap out and put a bigger or smaller one in. Honestly though, this one fits my hand very well. It's kind of shaped in a way that would fit most people's. The trigger guard is fixed, it's not a folding. But yeah, in a lot of ways it's a very standard gun for the 3rd generation types, but it's very well made. The parts move together very smoothly. It is extremely similar to a SCAR, but since it was developed nearly a full decade later than the SCAR, it incorporates a lot of improvements. It has good weight to it. It doesn't feel very plasticky, because really only the lower is plastic, everything else is metal. But that also is going to translate to very little recoil, especially with the gas piston system. I haven't had a chance to shoot this yet because we weren't able to go out where we usually shoot rifle, because today's the opening day of deer season, rifle season. So we only were able to shoot pistols today. But I've read that this muzzle brake is extremely effective. It is just threaded on. I believe it's a 14 by 1 millimeter pitch. Left hand, I think. Again, I haven't had it off yet. I just got the gun today, so forgive me for being a little ignorant. But yeah, this gas system comes out very nicely. Just press in this detent. Screw. That's the other setting. Screw, twist around some more. This comes off. This is your gas tube. It's ventilated, as you can see. Side. If I don't put it in the box, it is. And this is the piston. It just pulls right out. And as I was saying, it is spring-loaded, which is kind of nice. This basically fixes to the gun and then recoils back and forth. And this is forward when then it strikes it. But very nice piston. If any of you have ever owned a SCAR, you can see where this is an improvement. It's a longer piston and it's much easier to get to for scraping carbon off and whatnot. Very well made. It feels really good. While we're pulling pieces off this thing, go ahead and take this back out. Take the mag out. To take this out, you just need to take a fingertip and push the pin in. It doesn't fit very tight, but nothing too bad there. And now this back piece, you push this in quite a ways. It's a little bit stiff. And it pulls down. There we go. This is the metal block that sits in the back. This is what you'd replace if you SBR'd it. And then this just pulls down. Now you can pull the whole unit off with another pin, but there's no reason to do it for standard build stripping. It hinges down just like on an HK would. So I'm going to lay this in my lap for a second. This is your recoil assembly. Very standard. Has a rubber hard polymer buffer in the back. It just collapses like any other. And the bolt group's going to look very familiar to anyone who has ever had a SCAR. You just pull the charging handle to the back and then up, out. And this is your bolt group. It has the cam on the side. Has a firing pin. I'm trying to think here. Not lock, but out of battery safety. So, you know, it won't fire, won't hit without that, which is nice. Again, it's very SCAR style, but you'll notice it's also smaller, especially in the front. It doesn't have that metal protrusion. It's weighty enough, but it won't be a huge weight bouncing back and forth, which again is supposed to lead to rather smooth recoil. But anyway, just thought we'd kind of take a little preview at it. Eventually we'll get around to shooting this, but it will probably be for a few more weeks because of, again, hunting season. But the 805 is an interesting gun. It has been under development for quite a long time in the Czech Republic, formerly even Czechoslovakia back in those days. But it was officially adopted in 2011, with the first prototypes having gone to the military around 2009 CZ-805. It competed against the Scar, and honestly they probably stole some design elements from the Scar. But it definitely seems like it's an improvement in some ways. Forgive me for not being the fastest at getting this back together. I've only owned it for about 2 hours, so it takes a while to get used to how to do things, you know. But yeah, it has been in Czech military service for a little bit of time now, and has proven itself in a few things, such as the later stages of the Iraq War. And it's also been used by the Mexicans and a few other different things. It's being tried out by the Slovakian military, but they haven't officially adopted it yet, unless they just did it recently. But it is just the latest generation. These pistols that are being imported take AR-15 magazines. The standard military ones take proprietary mags based on the Kalashnikov. They're rock and lock style. But for us, they do it with the AR mags. I think I'm doing pretty good about getting this thing back together. Pretty easy to learn how to do. I like intuitive guns. Obviously it's not something that requires a lot of visual aid to put together, which is nice. I think any military gun should be that simple for field stripping. But yeah, these are coming in as pistols right now. SBR kits are supposed to be available soon, but you know how that's been going with like the Scorpion stuff, so we can be hopeful. It's sticking there on me. But aha, it's easier to turn on that way. Thought we would share when we get a chance to actually go shooting with it. We'll tell you more. I anticipate it's going to be a lot of fun to shoot. There we go. I didn't have the piston completely seated in the receiver properly. Operator error. But yeah, I'd like to get this put together before I turn off the video, but we'll see. Is it directional, I wonder? The right, yeah, I've got the right way. Yeah. Who knows? But I know this is super exciting for me too. There we go. Those things, once I start doing something, I've got to finish it up. If I can just find where I threw that pin. It's over here in this box somewhere, the little HK style pin. But yeah, this is the CZ-805 Bren Pistol. And check in again later for a shooting review of it. And as always, this is Michiko, and thanks for tuning in.